Hello everyone, my name is Boulevard, here for giantslayertv to bring you the top 3 decks of Fight Night Legends. In this series, we'll follow along with Fight Night Legends every single week and take a look at top performing decks, popular decks, and just decks to keep an eye on. Before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell icon, stay up to date on all the latest content, and if you're interested in playing in a future Fight Night Legends yourself, you can find an application to do so at giantslayertv/lor. There you'll find a form of some basic information like your name, country of residence, and some information about your previous accomplishments within Legends of Runeterra. After all, this is a tournament, we are looking to highlight new talent always, but it is a competition first and foremost. Now to break down exactly what kind of competition Fight Night Legends is, it's an 8-person invitational tournament taking place on Thursday, Friday, and Monday in Brazil, Europe, and the Americas respectively. The event runs in a standard Riot Lock format, meaning each player brings 3 decks with no overlapping champions or region combinations, and bans one of the opponent's decks to play a best of 3 in which they must win with their 2 unbanned decks. The event is double elimination, with the top 2 players being invited back next week for a chance to prove themselves once again. Our week kicks off in Brazil, where players were ready to adapt to the Yordles and Arms dominated meta from the week before, and we got a taste of the control-heavy weekend that was to come. Ian Nogueira took first place with Tri-Beam Control, Aphelios Victor Vi, and Thresh Aurelian Soul, taking the win over FNX Chimera on Victor Riven, Yordles and Arms Piltover and Zon, and Ziggs Taliyah. In Europe, we continue to see success over the Yordles and Arms menace as Gouda Daddy picked up first place with Sundisc, Zilean Ekko, and Victor Lee Sin. Genesis CCG earned another invite back with another double Yordle lineup with Demacia Yordles and Arms, Piltover and Zon Yordles and Arms, and Aphelios Vi Zoe. After a weekend of grassroots tournaments littered with control dominance, the America's Fight Night tournament came prepared for the meta shift. Majiinbae took the win with a triple Shurima lineup of Sundisc, Ziggs Taliyah, and Zilean Ekko. Second place was taken by a familiar face in Trivo, who also played Sundisc and Ziggs Taliyah, but rounded things out with Pantheon Taric Yuumi. Now that you're up to date on who won, let's talk top 3. Coming in hot at number 3, we have Ziggs Taliyah. Control was a hot topic in tournaments over the week and into the weekend, and one thing that has been the bane of control decks for quite some time is landmark-based strategies. While the win condition of this deck isn't the landmark in a traditional sense like Bandletree or Starspring, cards like Endless Devout and Ancient Hourglass make it near impossible for control decks to keep up. Ziggs and Taliyah are the best available champions in terms of synergizing with Overwhelm since they damage anything blocking them to push through maximum efficiency, and a copy of the Arsenal is usually thrown in at the top end to ensure that the fear of the keyword soup is still there, giving us a nice spread of matchups as well as some surprise finishing power. We did see 2 variants of this list, the Bandle City version that won in America and took second in Brazil, and the Mono Shurima variant splashing 3 copies of the list from Trivo. The Bandle City version is easily the more popular of the 2, but if you feel like that's not quite how you want to build the deck, you do have some options. Number 2 this week is Zilean Ekko. Now, over the last few months, Zilean Ekko has maintained a pretty consistent presence in Fight Night Top Cut, but it's usually winning one of these tournaments with little to no pressure elsewhere, thus gatekeeping it from our top 3 for some time. And its time in the limelight is finally here though, as it took home wins in both Europe and the Americas. So what's got everyone so big on Zilean Ekko lately? While it doesn't play the standard anti-control Shurima cards like Endless Devout or Ancient Hourglass, Rite of Negation is still a staple within the deck, and Chrono Break threatens more than just a bad trade against players who decide not to respect it, it can straight up end the game. What really makes this deck shine in my mind is that it's the Shurima deck that is beating the other Shurima decks, making it well placed this week and likely the next. And coming in at number 1, we have the hot topic deck from day one finally reaching its full potential, Mono Shurima Sundisc. We're in a bit of a triangle right now if I had to oversimplify, with Yordles and Arms beating Shurima, Shurima beating Control, and Control beating Yordles and Arms. Again, a gross oversimplification, especially in a 3-deck format, but we don't have a lot of time for nuance here because we were too busy getting taken to the movies by a level 2 animation, followed by a Sundisc Ascension, followed by the level 3 cinematics for Azir and Xerath, before promptly losing the game to either the Emperor's deck or Xerath obliterating every unit you summon before finally chipping away at your Nexus. As the lists have refined and players have really adapted to beating a wider spread of decks, Sundisc is no longer relegated to this anti-control menace. It does well enough into aggro, which again is not very present in this meta because it is being kept out by all these Withering Whale decks, and overall Sundisc just seems to be coming out on top right now. And that's what you missed last week on Fight Night Legends. Now, this is the first Shurima-dominated meta that we've had in quite some time, where it really feels like we have multiple viable Shurima decks with a lot of varying strategies. Some of them are landmark decks, some of them are not. Sivir Akshan is still popping up. And it's really been quite some time since this has happened, as Shurima was widely regarded as one of the weakest on-release regions. Really only Thresh Nasus coming out of the gate, Azir Aurelia picking up on the second set, but overall it only had about one deck in at a time. So to have 3 Shurima decks take our top 3 spots, I personally think is really cool. But what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below, and while you're down there, you might as well hit the subscribe button, maybe like the video, ring the bell icon, get notified when we go live with other cool videos like this. Again, my name is Boulevard for giantslayertv. Thank you so much for watching.